Good morning.
Good morning, lady. This is part of the hard work of archaeology, removing all the earth and the stone from the dig. And here we are at Bethsaida in the early morning. The sun has risen and we're feeling the excitement of a very important discovery here, which I won't be able to show you because that's off bounds in archaeology. Steve, can I bother you for a moment here? This is Steve Notley, and we're just looking at the sunrise one more second there so we can see that it's up. And here's Steve from New York, Professor Steve Notley, a great friend for about 15 years since I came to the Holy Land. And Steve, you're one of the spirit and the heart behind this dig for a long time.
Yeah, it's great to be back after sort of a 2-year hiatus with the pandemic, and to be returning here and excavating what we believe is a really important site. But we're suggesting that it's New Testament Bethsaida. And
is there any progress in that regard in this excavation season that you're finishing today?
What we're finding is that the site is quite large, probably 50 dunums, 12 acres. So it's quite a sizable location, and it's we're confirming its size, its scope. Everywhere we look, we dig, we're immediately in Roman remains, first century remains, which everything we're finding is confirming our suggestion. Nothing that we're finding contradicts that. And I think, as we also are uncovering more and more of the basilica, which the pilgrims tell us was built over the house of Peter and Andrew, at least that's what the pilgrims are saying. We're confirming really a significant large basilica with a monastery around it. We've been excavating a bathhouse similar.
So we could be at the house where Peter and Andrew were born. Could that be a possibility?
Yeah. From John 1:44, it speaks of their origins from
Bethsaida.
Bethsaida, and so it seems that this is, they talk about, the pilgrims talk about the church, and it seems that we're uncovering the church that they spoke about. Till 4 or 5 years ago, no one thought it was here. No one knew it was here. So it's one of those.
Well, you had that idea. You had that idea for a while.
We were here looking for the first century place, first century Bethsaida, and then we began to come on evidence that suggested there was a church here, an ornate church with the glass tessera gilded in gold from probably what were ornate wall mosaics. So there were hints to it, and as we excavated, the walls and floors came out of the ground. So it's quite exciting. Every year is full of new surprises.
Awesome. Steve, thank you so much. This is marvelous. And here we have another guy trying to do a paparazzi on me. That's amazing.
Father Kelly, what are you doing up here from Migdal? Wow.
Who are you?
I live here.
You live here. I'm trying to see you behind the camera. Welcome.
Yeah, Hodness, my village.
Yes.
4 kilometers away.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm going to. What's your experience here? You're working obviously as a volunteer here.
Well, I've been coming to almost all of the digs, and I've been seeing the development. And my primary concern is the water level. The water level needs to come down a little bit. It doesn't have to go down to the bare bones, but it does need to come down. So
you mean the present seasonal water from rain and so on?
Well, they're keeping it with the Degania Dam to a high level, and then they're bringing more water in from the ocean. So they could maintain the same level all year long.
So it wouldn't damage the site?
It wouldn't damage, yes.
Okay, let's pray for that.
That's the prayer.
It was just wonderful. God bless you. Let me catch Matti before the time of the sunrise is over. Another volunteer. Where are you from?
Hi, I'm from Slovakia.
From Slovakia, and you're here digging this hour of the morning. What brings you to do this? Why do you like doing this? What's your first name again?
I'm Anastasia.
Anastasia. What motivates you to be involved in this dig?
I enjoy excavating here for this site could be a relation with Jesus and her.
A connection with Jesus. That's great.
Yeah.
God bless you.
El Padre Kelly.
How are we doing here?
Bien, muy bien.
There's all kinds of languages, Slovakian, Spanish speakers. Language is not a problem if you're able to carry a bucket of clay. Marty, are we ready for a word?
Yeah, I'm just writing a note here and...
Okay, excellent.
You know Mordecai.
Oh, of course, yes.
You know everybody.
Hey, who's this?
It's Ethan again.
Ethan, oh yes. You're still Ethan.
Still Ethan.
What's your joy about this excavation?
My joy about this excavation?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come up with something original. I imagine other people have had...
Just your spontaneous. Why are you here? What motivates you to get out in the morning to come here this early in the morning? What time do you guys start this morning?
we typically start at 6.
At 6.
For me, I'd say the interest is twofold. One is the obvious connections to the New Testament origins,
Okay.
Peter and all of that. Very interesting. But also, archaeology is sort of solving puzzles.
Okay.
And so as you go down through layers, and you can kind of...
So instead of reading a mystery novel, you're here making a novel appear.
Yeah, except you don't always read it in order. So sometimes you're reading chapter 1 and then chapter 4 and then part of chapter 7 and then you go back and then you find chapter 3 and then you have to pull down in order.
Very good.
It's a lot of fun, especially when you actually make the connections. And
Sounds good, Ethan. Let me get Matty. He's almost ready here. I need to catch Matty on this because he's one of the big minds here.
Oh, yeah.
God bless you, Ethan.
Yeah, you too. Great to see you.
So this is also part of the archaeology, all the desk work, all the documentation of discoveries. Matty, sorry, can I interrupt you? Yes, we're always ready for a word of wisdom from you, Matty. So what's the story here? Tell me something. You apparently it's already public in a couple of places that there was a major inscription found. Why would that be significant? What's the story here?
Inscription is always important because it is a direct message from the people who lived here to their people and to us. So we know sometimes when it was done, sometimes by whom.
Because there's a date, there's a name.
Not always, but
Yes,
sometimes.
yes.
We are hoping that this inscription will give us a date, will give us the name of the place, will give us the name of the church.
Okay.
We do hope, that's all. And until now we are still scraping and cleaning the inscription to be able to read all the letters and then to decipher it, because the Greek inscriptions are written in a way that you have to be specialized to
understand
it.
right.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So we hope that we'll finish.
What's your general take at this point on the excavation? What do you see here? What's emerging?
This season was dedicated on 2 goals. One of them is to dig 1 square about 150 meters west from here.
Okay.
In an area that no one knows if it belongs to the village that was here or not. So we dug a square there, and 30 centimeters below surface, we are in the Roman period.
That's from this season?
Yep.
Oh, fantastic.
So 2 years ago, we had an area
Exactly.
100 meters north from here.
Right.
Now we're 150 meters west from here.
So this is a big territory.
A big settlement. From the Roman period. What we found there is the 3rd century CE. And we hope that when we come back in October, when the level of the water will be lower, we'll be able to dig to the 1st century.
Fantastic.
The second goal is to learn more about the church. We can't dig inside because it's covered with water, so we're digging outside. We found another parts of the wall, digging lower. We're still chasing after the possible entrances because we don't have them yet.
To the building.
To the building.
That's interesting. You have the building, but not the entrances.
Above the wall to go inside.
Right.
That's a question that we don't have an answer yet.
Yes.
And we dug to the east to find what are the buildings out of the church, and we are happy to find there a bathhouse.
A bathhouse?
From the Byzantine period.
Also
the monastery at Kursi has a bathhouse.
Interesting.
So I'm not surprised, but
yes.
It's nice to have it. And we have only part of it, and next season we'll enlarge the excavations around the bathhouse. So I think we have achieved all our goals and more. And now the question is what's in the inscription that will take us a few days to know.
Oh, we will know this in a few days' time. That's soon.
We'll know it. I know it. We'll publish it, but we'll know it.
Marty, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to. I just want to get Akaya. Do you see him around?
Yeah. Somewhere.
Thank you, Marty. Marty is a great friend of Magdala. He's the one who first published on Magdala years ago, when after the discovery was made. And now I'm looking for Akaya, who is a specialist in Byzantine period. So I want to see if he will say something for us here. Here we're looking at the work of Akaya. Akaya is a specialist in Byzantine churches in Israel. He actually did his doctorate in this field. How many Byzantine churches are in Israel?
The current count is about 650.
650?
Yeah.
Wow, they were really all over the place.
Yeah, but you should mind that if you take a look at the ancient perspective, you should look at it as in the provinces. So Israel is encompassing pieces of Palestina and Phoenicia and Arabia.
Okay.
So, I mean, in Palestina it's a different number, in Phoenicia it's a different number.
So where the 600 and, how many? 600 and?
650 is all around current Israel, the modern Israel.
Okay.
In my dissertation on the Galilee, Western Galilee, there are about 100 of them.
100, and just in Western Galilee?
Just in Western Galilee. And
that's Haifa down to Netanya?
No, Haifa up to Lebanon.
Okay, to the Lebanese border.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. And then this is obviously a special place for you because it looks like you're discovering a new one here.
Yeah, so there's a new one here, and nobody knew of. I mean, there were descriptions, you know, of ancient times, but here we get to excavate a church that nobody ever touched, nobody ever. It took us 3 years to get to the corner of the church, and now we are all over it. And we have the mosaics, we have the inscriptions, the beautiful mosaic, and it's a great.
And you have another piece of mosaic right now, an inscription. I can't show it to you people because that's the rules of archaeological. But
it's over there
right
somewhere. There.
Exactly, it's in that spot right there. That's where they're cleaning. I saw some of the letters myself, and Marty just told us that in a few days you might have the whole answer to the meaning of the.
Hopefully, I mean, we do believe that the inscription is complete, and we will be able, while the moment we clean it, to read the ancient Greek.
And you can read ancient Greek?
Not myself.
Okay.
Not myself.
Okay, so you'll have other specialists on the team helping.
Yeah, we have specialists, I think. Yes. I mean, reading inscriptions is not only on the, just, you know ancient Greek. There's certain phrases and the way they put things that you need to understand exactly what they mean.
You need to really be an expert. Achaya, thank you so much. It's great to be here. And this is the last day of the dig, right?
Last day of the dig. I'm so happy to work with those guys who are so devoted. And I mean, it's not easy working in the heat and humidity of the Sea of Galilee, July, August. And those guys give it all.
That's fantastic. That's a beautiful word, Achaya. I'm really happy to hear that. And here we have more over here. How many countries are represented?
Well, I think we have about 7.
There's a fellow over there from Brazil I met earlier.
Brazil and Puerto Rico and Slovakia and Hong Kong, China, USA, naturally.
Awesome, awesome. And what are you doing here with this particular drawing?
So this is, we have the plan of the excavation, and we update the plan as we go. We follow what we find. You can see here the lines, the walls of the church with the apse facing east. And so we can follow what we're working. You see everything is numbered, so we can...
Fantastic, professional work.
That's the professional, tedious work of
documenting. Not just professional, tedious. Well, really all professional work, when it's done well, there's a lot of dedication needed, right?
Yeah.
And we have another wall here. This is like...
So this is what we is most probably it's only half exposed. You can see an apse, like
An apse. Okay.
half,
Okay.
half a circle. It is most probably a bathhouse
Oh, really?
serving the pilgrims coming here to the church.
Wow.
And presuming that this is real Bethsaida, we expect to have the accommodations for pilgrims adoring the apostles and the Church of the Apostles. This is the Church of the Apostles. People are coming from all over the world. They need a rest. They need a bath.
What's the biggest proof, Achaya, that for you that's convincing you to make the claim that this is the Church of the 12 Apostles in Bethsaida?
There is no specific proof. As you
Okay.
said, it's tedious. It's a detail after detail
Okay.
which is accumulating, and the balance between other sites, the two other possible sites to this. Here we have a first century village. We have a Roman city above it, probably Julius, and then above it a memorial church, which is commemorating something.
Okay.
Possibly.
So you're putting the pieces together.
And the monastery accommodating
And
the pilgrims.
the quality of the mosaics say that this was given quite some importance. There was a lot invested in this church, a lot of effort.
Lots of effort and money put
Right.
in that. And well, you go in Israel all over today and you see the places, the pilgrim places, and you see how much is put in modern churches or
Right.
facilities or whatever. It's just the same. It's just following
That same pattern, right?
Yep.
People put their treasure where their heart is.
Sorry?
They put their treasure into where their heart is.
Yeah, definitely,
Yes.
definitely. You see it also in synagogues, and not only pilgrim churches, also in
Of course.
laymen and community churches.
Yes.
That people of the village, of the city, put
Put their best into that.
the best into the church, synagogue, whatever.
Right. Achaya, thank you so much. Toda rabah.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
I'm going to wrap it up now, people, with a little bit of sunrise and a word about the gospel and the readings today, because we're in the home, probably in the home of Peter and Andrew. And we're looking out of here to the water, just so you see a little bit where we are near the Sea of Galilee. You can see it right there. But this is actually an extended flooding area of the expanded and meandering Jordan River, but it's all right here at the Sea of Galilee. And here's a little bit to say that it's still sunrise, and also to say today in the readings we have an amazing combination of phenomenon. We have God is so faithful to his covenant. He's going to renew his covenant. Just read that text of Jeremiah. It's classic and it's powerful. And then we have Peter, and Peter is classic human being. He has filled sometimes with inspiration from on high, light shining into his mind, and he makes that incredible confession of faith. You can see it there in the gospel text. I have to add it still because I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball on this post today. And it's Matthew chapter 16 up in Caesarea Philippi, which is just 35, 40 minutes north of here. And then we have on the other hand, we have Peter actually using his own logic and not the inspiration from on high. And Jesus labels us as almost from the evil spirit, because he's trying to take Jesus away from the heavenly plan. And Jesus says, no way. And Jesus marks that fidelity for the good of humankind, and to rescue the type of human beings we are, like Peter, that one day we're more enthusiastic and more devoted, and other days we've got a split allegiance, and we're looking for the mammon, and we're looking for comfort, and we're looking to escape the duties and the challenges of being a parent, of being a teacher, of being a serious worker, like we see here with the archaeology. And that's the conflict of the human heart, and yet God's fidelity, that we can continue forward with great hope. So people, I'm so happy that you came this morning here to join us at Bethsaida. And here we are with all these wonderful people dedicated to digging. And I wish you many, many blessings today. And it's a little bit longer, I think, today, but that's okay. We're in a special season, the last day of this dig here in Bethsaida. God bless you. See you later, alligators.